So this is not just another brokerage pitch. This is an actual live look at why top producers are moving over to Real Broker LLC. And in this video, we're gonna go over the model in details. I have other videos on this channel as well with the same presentation in a different format. But if you find any value in this video, consider subscribing to the channel, dropping a like. And if at any point you wanna have a conversation about joining Real Broker, my information is gonna be down in the description. So let's get started on talking about Real Broker. And also, at any point, if you want access to these slides, just let me know and I'll send you an email with these slides. This is the most updated one, so you kind of get an idea of like what's going on with the company in 2025. So the way that the presentation is broken down is culture, build, grow, legacy, support, tech, and platform. So we'll kind of go through a high level overview of those items there. And at any point, pause the video, take screenshots, or reach out to me as soon as possible. My number will be somewhere on the screen, as well as down in the description if you want to have a further conversation about this. Let's get right into it. 26,000 plus agents as of Q1 2025. So you have 26,000 agents with 13.5 billion in value of closed transactions as of Q1 2025. Publicly traded on the NASDAQ as REAX. And there's been a 61% year over year agent increase. So every year we're growing. And what's cool is we're growing by bringing each other together. So the company doesn't pay like for recruiters and like to have like commercials and stuff like that. We attract each other. So we're growing slowly, but at the same time, we're growing pretty fast, but we're bringing each other in through the agent attraction process. 50 states plus DC plus 4 provinces right there. These are just some of the recognition awards that Real has gotten throughout the years. Now, it all comes down to culture, model, and platform. So they've been able to like overlap the three into this massive company called Real Broker. And it all basically funnels up to be one Real. You got training, you got the Rezen software, tools, integrated services, grow, legacy, build, and support. All together, one Real on their culture, model, and platform. This is the CEO, Tamir. So that's a little quote that he has there about the company. Some of the most exciting part is the numbers. So there's no monthly fees. There are options though, if you want to like subscribe to their CRM or anything like that, that might have a monthly fee, or some of the partners that they partner with, like luxury presidents, there's monthly fee options for certain services, but to be at the broker, there's no monthly fees. 85-15 split. So whatever commission check it is, picture this, 85% going to you, 15% going to the broker with a $12,000 annual cap. Now on the right side, you'll see some of the terms and conditions and like some of the startup fees, like a $249 sign up fee. So when you first sign up, it's $249. And then you're gonna have a $40 CBR fee per transaction. So that's to review your documents per transaction, which by the way, you don't pay that if you don't close. A $285 transaction fee or 15% after you've capped. And then after that gets to about $6,000, you'll be able to get back your money in stock through the Elite Agent Award, which we'll talk about later in the video. $750 annual brokerage fee paid from the first 3 transactions. So on the first 3 transactions, they add a $250 fee. But if you don't close a deal, you don't owe the money. The only thing really out of pocket other than it's just a sign-up fee basically. So if you never transact, you never pay a penny basically. So you get up to 3 personal deals per year, per your anniversary year, and it's a standard $250 transaction fee on that. Now, there's different stock awards for capping and for attracting as well. So when you hit your cap, you'll get some shares, and then when you attract agent and they close their first deal, you'll get some shares as well. This is the Elite Agent Award. So what happens is a lot of these companies have like the top 1%, 2%, 3% agent. At Real, they want to really reward the top agents with this elite agent status. And the way that that works is they're going to unlock up to $16,000 in stock once they've achieved exceptional sales volume. What's even more interesting is after they get the $16,000, they have the opportunity to earn $8,000 more by teaching or giving back. Now, can you imagine being at company A where they're paying trainers to train you out of scripts and some sort of curriculum, and you're learning things that are probably outdated, whereas you have agents who just hit like the top percentage of the company, and they're telling those agents, hey, can you teach a few agents what you're doing so that we can give you some money back, they can learn, and then if everybody wins, the stock goes up, and then everybody wins again. So they're able to give back up to $8,000 in cultural awards for anybody who wants to teach or give back to the community after they've reached the elite status, which is pretty awesome. You can also purchase stocks straight out of your commission at a 5% or a 10% increment. So the way that works is before you cap, 5% of the stock will be purchased from your commissions with a 10% bonus. After you cap, it'll be 10% out of your commission with a 15% bonus. Now, we're going to talk about grow a little bit. So when it comes to grow, there's team options as well. So with the team option, the team leader is still going to be on 85-15 with a 12K cap. And what's going to happen is the team members would be on a 6K cap. So right down here, you'll see that there's a 6K cap for team members. And then for premium teams, you'll be on a 4K cap. And then for the Canadian commissions, that's right there as well. Now let's talk about legacy. So the company doesn't hire recruiters, so we're pretty much recruiting or attracting each other. And the way that we're compensated for that is through something called revenue share. So with revenue share, you're gonna earn a percent of Real's portion of the split. So 85-15, out of that 15%, they're able to give people like me and people who attract you a portion of that split for introducing you to the company. What's even better is there's no money made if you don't close deals. So versus just trying to recruit you, we're incentivized to also helping you out, holding your hands, training wheels, creating systems and processes for you to be successful, in this real estate climate. So I can recruit somebody, they could pay the $250, I don't get a penny of that, but unless they transact, I won't make any money. So I'm incentivized to not only bring people in, but to share best practices with them. And what's even better is, we'll talk about this a little later on, is the co-sponsored rev share. So even though I'm in Florida, if you find value in partnering with me, I can also, if you would like, find someone local to you so you can have two sponsors and we'll both be helping you. So the way that the revenue share numbers work, you'll get 5% on tier 1, 4% tier 2, 3, 2, 1%. So on the people that you directly influence to join the company, there's a 5% up to $4,000 a year. So think about that 15% that goes to Real, 5 of that's gonna go to me once you do a deal. And then if you recruit somebody, it'll be the same thing. You'll make that 5%, I'll make the 4%, and it goes 5 levels up. There's many different revenue share models out there, and I've been a part of like 2 of them so far. The prior one that I was a part of was very bottom heavy, where it was like 7 levels. And when I stood there for 2 or 3 years watching all the top recruiters make a bunch of money, I paid attention and I was realizing I'm not a really big recruiter. I do have a small amount of people. It was like 10 or 20 people, but I'm watching them bring in hundreds of people. And I was like, wow, when would I ever make it there? And I never made it there. 2, 3 years later, I never made it there. And then when I came to Rio and I realized they paid more at the top, instantly I made more money with less people attracted to the company. And my agents actually saved more money because that old broker was 80-20 and this new broker is 85-15. And then my agent stopped paying a monthly fee because my old broker would charge $85 a month. So it was like a no-brainer. It was like, we have the same people or less, and I'm making more money and they're keeping more money. This is like that big cloud-based brokerage 2.0, which is why we went second in line. This company is learning from the good and the bad from what the bigger company did, and they're improving on that, which is super exciting. So that's revenue share for you. Co-sponsoring is what I was talking about earlier, where you kind of like have 2 sponsors. So if you find value in me and then you want to join the company, I can also help you find someone local to you, and then we can co-sponsor you, which is pretty cool. It's Real retirement as well. So, your time at Real, it's gonna, at some point you're gonna want to stop selling as many houses. So you'll continue to receive 60% of your monthly revenue for long term. So you must have been a producing agent for at least 3+ consecutive years to get there. And there's more terms and conditions, but if you want more information on that, send me a message directly and I'll get you the terms and conditions about that, because you might not want to be selling real estate for the rest of your life. You might want to retire at some point. And over here, you have that revenue share that can help you continue to earn that income. So let's talk about some support. So my experience with support is it's amazing. You go into the file, right? And you can actually just click a button and it's calling the broker team right away. And there's different brokers in the state. So they're gonna, whoever's available is gonna pick up. And at my old company, it was like an email system, or you had to walk into like a digital world, and if they weren't there, then it couldn't help you out. And if you didn't have like your laptop or your computer to walk into that digital world, it wasn't the easiest. Over here, I just log into the app, click the file, click call broker, and it's calling the brokers right away. They also have a partnership with Zoom, something called Work Vivo, where it's kind of like a social media platform, kind of like Workplace by Meta. And you can actually have the brokers in there as well, or go into the Florida State group or your state group to get questions answered as well. That's some of the tech that they have there. And they also have their own system called Rezen, 24/7 AI. So they have an AI system called Leo where you can ask it pretty much anything and it can help you understand whatever you need to do 24/7. And there's regular broker meetings as well. So they hold consistent broker meetings for every state, which is awesome. Now, let's talk about some of the healthcare benefits. So you also get healthcare benefits. So being an entrepreneur, being 1099, it's not the easiest thing to get health benefits. So Real has partnered with a company or companies that will help you get health benefits as well. Now, as we talk about the tech, this is kind of an idea of like what the AI looks like. It'll have some recommended questions there, or you can ask a question and it'll pretty much try to get you the answer. Real Wallet is now you have the option of having your commissions like built into the app, and they'll actually send you a debit card. So you can have your own personal bank and separate some revenue share or commissions, or you can have it all go into Real Wallet, and it's all going to be on the app, which is pretty awesome. Now, there's different sections of Real as well. So you got Real Luxury and you got Real Military. You got Real One Title, so they have a title company, and you have Real Mortgage as well. So you kind of can provide like this all-in-one experience for the consumer all at one company, which is pretty awesome. They do have a marketing center that you can go in and get templates and figure out your marketing pieces. Once a year, they do an annual conference. This year in 2025, it's going to be in Orlando, where I'm at in Orlando, Florida. So it's called the Real Rise. And then they do have a Real X conference as well, which is virtual. I forgot how often that was, but I went to the last one, Real X. But the Real Rise is once a year. These are some of their preferred vendors with preferred pricing. So with these vendors, you'll get discounts. So those are some of you have CRM companies here, you have education companies here, marketing, title, you have different companies here that you'll get a discount being part of Real. So that pretty much covers like an overview of Real Broker. If you've been curious, about like what Real Broker has to offer, or if it's the right move for you, I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you. In the description, you'll find my calendar link. We can hop on a Zoom, or if you're somewhere in Florida, local, we can meet up in person and we can kind of talk about the process there. But on this channel, I have more resources as well about what Real Broker has to offer. So just stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'll put my social media below so you can get a behind the scenes look at some of the stuff that a team leader does at Real Broker. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.